here. Let me try and refresh this really quick. Refresh. Um, okay, I'm live, but this is not telling me that I'm live. Give me a moment. Just refreshing my devices here so that way I can see what's happening, what's going on. As you come on, say hi. Let me know where you're visiting from. Um, so, this is video number 100. 100. That is like insane. 100. That includes everything that's pre-recorded and what I have done live. So the pre-recorded stuff, I started that, I think it was September 26th actually. I started doing the pre-records right after I started, no, not after I started, after doing a 2-week challenge that Stampin' Up had done. They worked with a couple that do, what do they do? They do direct seller training using using um yeah, I just drew a blank. Social media, that's the word I was trying to get at. So they did a challenge, a 2-week challenge, and when they did the challenge, I decided, okay, it was time to start doing the videos and, starting to build this business. And when I did that, I thought, okay, we did a live and it was Facebook. I'll be honest with you, I had no desire to do any lives or any videos on Facebook because Facebook is good for changing things constantly. I've seen other demos have just nightmare times with them. So I wanted to do YouTube. And when it came to doing lives on YouTube, the thing is that if I wanted to record anything live um, through my cell phone, now this is through my cell phone on YouTube, I needed to have at least 50 subscribers. And I got that, I think, was it by the end of December or into January, I had reached the 50 mark. So then I was able to do lives. So here I am, 100 videos later. And it's been a lot of work. Sometimes I just want to take a break, but I just keep going. And here we are. So a little bit about, let's see, about this video. So being that it is video number 100, I was thinking, what can we do that's special for this one? So I want to do, I guess I want to do like a giveaway. And what I think the way I'm going to do it, and I didn't put a whole lot of thought in this because I was putting a lot of thought into what the project was going to be tonight because it was a struggle. I will tell you that. But I'm thinking, um, like I said, as you come on, say hi, let me know where you're visiting from, leave a comment. Even if you are watching this on the replay, leave a comment. What I'm going to do between now and Sunday at midnight, I am going to take all of those that have left a comment on this video and I will do a drawing. And I think hmm, trying to think what I can give for like a prize. Maybe something like an embellishment of your, yeah, some kind of embellishment, something that I can mail, in a card or something like that. Um, Yeah, let's do that. So if you're watching live, or if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment in the comment section. Actually, hold on a second. Well, yeah. Okay. Let me think for a second here. Think for a minute. So while I'm live, okay, I can see the comments. Okay. Once this video is done and I close out of this, I can't see those comments anymore. So while we are live, before I close it out on YouTube on my desktop computer, because that's where I can see the chat, I will notate those who have left a comment. Now, if it's after the video is done and you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. So those comments below the video will be there. And what I will do is I will also notate those names and I will put them all together and I will do a drawing and I will, let's see, randomly choose 3 people. But I don't know, maybe I'll do something else if depending on how many people, comment on this video. Now, you can like share it. I mean, I don't know how, yeah. I mean, you could share the video. I've never really shared anybody's YouTube video before. So, um, hello, Yvonne. Um, so yeah, either way, just leave a comment, whether it's during the live or if it's later on until like midnight on Sunday. And then I will do something for those that all commented. Okay. Let's just leave it at that. And it'll be some kind of embellishment that's in our new catalog. So for tonight, we are using the Grassy Grove bundle. So let me kind of pull that out. So this is the bundle that we are using tonight. Now this bundle has actually, Stampin' Up! Has had this in the catalog for a while. I think, was this in 22, 21? I don't remember when this first came out, but it did carry over. It was in our last annual catalog and it's carried over again to this new one. Now, a little confession. This is the first time that I'm using this bundle and I've had this bundle for a really long time. And pretty much like when it came out, around the time that it came out is when I purchased this. I had not used it. This was the first time putting ink to this stamp set. That's pretty sad. Now, the reason why I'm using this is because, okay, little confession here, and I don't know if any of you are like this or not, but when a catalog, and we had 2 catalogs that were retiring at the same time. We had our mini catalog and also our annual catalog. Now, there are a lot of things that were in there that were going away that I really wanted. So I was focused on getting that stuff. Then it's like when we have our pre-order, for demos, pre-order happens a month before the catalog goes live. So all a month of April was pre-order time. Now, in our catalog, when it's an annual catalog, there's a limit of what stuff is available for pre-order. Typically, our mini catalogs, everything in there is available to pre-order. This time, it was only a select amount of stuff. And I typically focus on, like the new ink colors. So like in ink pads, the Stampin' Blends, the Stampin' Write markers, the cardstock. Usually I focus on that first. So I don't exactly have a lot of new product that is from that catalog. Hi, Terry. So I'm kind of limited. I had to go through my little list. Like, well, I don't know if you could see it over here. I have a bin, and this is all the stuff that's actually carried over. And so I had to go through and see, okay, what's in there that carried over that I haven't done a video on yet. And this was one of them. So it was a little bit of a struggle to come up with projects, but I got it done. It was late last night, but I got it done. And so we're going to utilize this bundle primarily tonight. Okay. And then next weekend, well, not next weekend, next Friday. Man, I can't talk. This is sad. It's like you put the video on and nothing wants to work. This and this don't work. Okay. So I had placed an order the other day and I will get stuff on Monday. And so I have two new bundles that are coming. So I don't know exactly which one I'm going to use yet for next Friday, but I will be using something new come next Friday. And I'll actually show you when I flip this camera, I will show you I have my catalog right down here, right behind me, and I'll show you what it is that I got. And then, you know what? I'll tell you what, when I show you what it is that I'm getting, I'm going to let you guys choose which bundle that I use next Friday. Okay. So whatever I get the most, I'm going to use both of them, but not at the same time. So we're talking about next Friday's video. Okay. One other thing that I'm going to mention, tomorrow I am doing my in-person class and I will be focusing, and I have it over there and I can't exactly reach it, but I will be, my in-person class is going to be the Spotlight on Nature. I actually used that bundle, I think, on May 3rd when I did the Kinda Live. I use that bundle. So that's the bundle that I'm focusing on my in-person class tomorrow. Now I know it's kind of like last minute and but if there's anybody who's on here who's watching, who is local, if it's still Friday, let me know. I do have, more space available if you'd like to come. My in-person classes at the moment are free only because there's not a whole lot of people at the moment, but that can change down the road. Basically, charging is covering, all of the supplies that I need to replenish, like cardstock and paper and embellishments and things like that. So if you are watching this on Friday, May 17th, and you're local and you'd like to come, just let me know. The information, like my email, is in the description of this video. Just let me know that you'd like to come, and then I can send you the details, like the time. I'll be doing it like at 11 a.m. Tomorrow. Also in the description, I have, there is a link if you'd like to be on my newsletter list. I typically send one out at the beginning of the month, letting you know what things I have going on, what kind of specials and things like that that Stampin' Up! Has going on. And actually, there is one that's going on until the end of this month. And when I flip my camera, I will show you that as well. But in there, I will put down like any classes that I have, what I'm going to be focusing on, for that class, things regarding like what kind of content I'll have on my YouTube channel for the month, if I know in advance, like which product that I'm going to use for each of the videos and things like that. So if you'd like to be on my newsletter list, the link for that is also in the description of the video. So I think that's it. So let me flip this and let me show you the catalog and all that. And hopefully I remember everything this time in regards to uh, what I have going on. No, this didn't flip. So let me pull this out a little bit because we did not want this to be like right in my face. Okay, so like with any of my Friday night lives or my kinda lives, If you would like the free card kit for the projects that I'm making tonight, the card kits contain all of the pre-cut cardstock and DSP pieces that you would need. The only thing that I won't do is I won't pre-stamp anything and die cut it. That you would actually need the stamp set in the bundle for that. And but other than, just other shapes and stuff that's not in that set of dies, I will go ahead and I will die cut those, and I'll even do any embossing, um, that needs to be done as far as like, the using an embossing folder. Okay, so what I was mentioning about that for the month of May, Stampin' Up! Has a joining special going on. Now, for when becoming a demonstrator does not mean you have to do this as a business where you hold classes, you do videos, things like that. You can simply be a demo just to receive the discount. So either a hobby demo or a discount shopper. And there's no commitment to it. You can be a demo for as long as you want. It's there is a quarterly minimum that you would meet, and that's 300. Now, if you were to join this month in May, you would not have to meet that quarterly minimum until, let's see, it's May, June, July, August, not until like the end of September. So there is time before you would have to meet that. Now, if you don't meet that, what'll happen, you will drop as a demo and then you can just be a customer again. Um, but for the month of May, there is a joining special that's going on, and this features our new in colors. So the starter kit, it costs $99 plus tax. The shipping is free, and you get to choose $125 in product. Now, when I give these dollar amounts, this is for the US, okay? Um, you get to choose $125 of product of your choosing. So that can be in any one of our current catalogs and anything that is on our website. So anything that's in the clearance rack, anything that's in the online exclusives as well. So in addition to that, you will get a 5 pack of the 2024-2026 in color stamp pads. So you get that whole bundle of the ink pads. You will get a package of the 2024-2026 in color 6x6 designer series paper. So there are 48 double-sided sheets in that pack of paper. And then you'll also get the 24 to 26 in color 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So this is a pack of 20, and you will get 4 sheets of each color. And then also you will get the 2024 to 2026 in color Stampin' Write markers. This comes together as a 5 pack. So this is an $82 value that will be added to your starter kit in addition to the $125 that you choose. And there is also in the starter kits, you will get like some business related type stuff. That doesn't mean you have to build a business. You'll get like an 8 pack of the new catalog. You'll also get like postcards, like if you were going to invite people. But let me tell you, I don't really use those postcards, but what I do use them for, if you're mailing a card and you have some kind of embellishment on it, like rhinestones or something, take one of those postcards and you can put it on top of your card when you put in the envelope. That way, when that envelope goes through the machine, your embellishments won't tear through that envelope. So that's what I use my invitations for. You'll also get a past paper pumpkin kit. So then you can see what paper pumpkin is all about and if whether or not, you want to subscribe to it or not. Um, so that is basically it in regards to the starter kit. And again, this promotion goes up until May 31st. Okay, so let me move that. And then here is the new annual catalog. So now it's past May 1st, so I can do this now. I can go through these pages. So let me show you what it is that I ordered since I got this open here. And you let me know which I should do first, because I'm clearly going to do both of them. But this is one of the suites that I got, the Full of Life. All this paper here, 6x6 in size, and it's all got a watercolor feel to it. There is the stamp set, and there's a set of dies that go with it. Then there is, what is this? Iridescent striped trim, and then there's iridescent faceted gems that come with it. So I've ordered all of this. And then this is the other bundle that I got. This is the Layers of Beauty. Now, what's really cool about this, there's actually three parts to this bundle. You have the stamp set. There are a set of dies that do coordinate with it. So these stamped images here, there is a die for them. And then there is a little tag right here for like some of the, well, for the God bless greeting in it. But these are the dies that go with it. Now, in addition, there are decorative masks. And what's really cool about this, you stamp your image, and then each layer, there's 5 different layers of these masks. You place it over the image and you just brush on some color. And then when you remove it, put the other one on. You can use a different color. You can use the same color. And it just has a really nice effect. You can see here, just like how the pink is and how the yellow is all blended on that stamped image. It's really, really cool. So these are the 2 bundles that I do have coming on Monday. So let me know which one you would like to see for next Friday. Let's see. And I think, is that it? I think that's it. Also, if you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like a copy of this catalog, my email is in the description of the video. Just send me your name, your full mailing address, and just let me know that you would like a copy of the catalog. Okay, I think I spoke enough on other stuff other than the cards. So, like I mentioned, this is the bundle that we're going to be using, the Grassy Grove. It has been in the catalog for a while, and this is actually the first time I'm using it. So it was a bit of a challenge, and I think that's why I haven't used it up until now, because I had no other choice in the matter. So we got some fun projects that we are going to be making tonight. So let me bring in all of my pieces for my first card. So for this one, I have a piece of basic white thick. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. I have a piece of boho blue. This measures 5.25 by 4, and ahead of time I went ahead and I embossed it using the Timber 3D embossing folder. This is a folder that also carried over from our last catalog. And in addition to that, I'm going to need this too. So I have some scraps. This is Night of Navy, and this one is basic white. And I have already die cut ahead of time using the Stylish Shapes dies. These carried over as well. These are in the catalog. So I went ahead and I already die cut those 2 pieces out of these dies. And then out of this die right here, I die cut this banner right here. So ahead of time, I already stamped it and I die cut it. So I do these things in advance just to save time on pulling out the die cut and the die cut machine and pulling that out and all that stuff. So let's get this card put together. So I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. And for two of our cards, we're actually going to do some watercoloring as well. Okay, so actually I don't need to put that aside. Let me bring in my adhesive. Now for this, I'm going to bring in my glue only because when you emboss the cardstock, sometimes it gets a little bit warped. I want to have this lay flat. So I'm going to add some of this. Now this is a fine tip glue bottle that's got fuzz on it. These I got off of Amazon, and I can't get this paper unstuck for me. I got it off of Amazon, and it's simply our Tombow multi-purpose green glue. I guess it's what it's been called. This is in our annual catalog. I just put it in this bottle. Which side do I want? This side. Because you don't really need a lot of this glue, because a little bit will hold stuff down really, really well. There is a latex that's in this glue, so it works really well. Okay, I'm going to center this like so. But I can see the comments on my computer, but what I will do is at the end, before I shut this down, I will go over and I will read them and answer any questions that anybody may have. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, close this up, and then I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to bring in this basic white square. I'm going to bring in my Misty Moonlight ink, and let me get this stamp that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to use this double set of trees right here. Now again, I already gone ahead and I stamped the thank you. I did that in Night of Navy ink. And let's see, I need a block. Make sure it's straight and my trees aren't leaning. Okay. Ink this up. And stamp it right there. And I'll stamp one down here. And one up here. And then I'm going to stamp off to kind of fill it in. So even though there's still some ink on here, if you stamped off the edge of the cardstock, you do want to re-ink the whole thing again. And I'm just going to go right over what I already stamped, just to kind of fill it in some, like so. So the cards that I'm doing tonight, I want to say they kind of simple. Yeah, they are. Some have a little more detail to them than others. Like I said, two of them we'll be doing some, okay, my adhesive doesn't want to work. Yet two of them will be doing watercoloring, and our last one will be a little bit messier than the next one. So we're, like I said, I left that one for the last because, yeah, we don't need blocks with ink all over them laying around. That just would not be good. Okay, so I am going to take this piece and bring in my dimensionals and my banner, and I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. I'm looking through my phone to see if the lighting is any better. So what I did, so the table that I work on, these are the tabletops that you can get from IKEA, and you can just add the legs to them. And I have two of them, same size, so the other one's right on the other side here. And on the one that I'm working on right now, I had bought furniture risers, and what do these go up to? There's like two parts to them, so it's an 8-pack, and I think it brings it up, I think, to 8 inches. I think so. It's a nice, countertop type height. I don't have to slouch over or anything, and strain my back. And the other one, I went and put um, the furniture risers under that, but it sits a little bit lower. So the lights that I have, the ring light, which is right there, and then I have two other side lights right there. They're lifted up a little bit more. I did notice, like in my past videos, it seems like down here it's just a little bit darker. Um, and that's what it kind of looks like on my phone, but maybe it looks better like on your end. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to place this right below it. So that's it on that card. Very, very simple. No embellishments on this one. I mean, I could take like some linen thread and create a bow and all that, but I decided on these. Yeah, it's not needed. So we're not using any linen thread. We're not using any rhinestones, gems, or anything like that. So cards are going to be, they're going to be kind of clean, I guess you can say. So let me put that aside and let me bring in my chamois and let me clean this stamp off. And then let's see, let me get the other stamps that I need. That in there. So I'm going to need this big landscape one, and I need these trees, and I think that is all I need. And I do have my PDF that I created. So if you get the free card kit, this is something that I would also email to you. I do this for every one of my Friday videos and also my in-person classes. I create a PDF that when you click on this right here, it'll actually bring you to this video. And then I have a list of all of the supplies, and there's pictures of all of the projects, and you just got a sneak peek of what our last one is going to be. And yeah, it just has a list of everything, so you get to see what it looks like. But the idea of this is to reference back to the video. That way you can see exactly how it all ties together. Now, for this one, let me go ahead and let me mount these on blocks. Okay, so on this one, usually when I do these lives, these Fridays, it's always, always use current product because, you know, it wouldn't be good if you're not able to get the stuff to create these cards. So for this one though, there was one little exception that I did be only because I don't have this particular stamp set. So for this card, I have a piece of gray granite. This measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. I have another piece of the gray granite. This measures 5.25 by 4, and this one too I embossed using that Timber 3D embossing folder. I have a piece of our Fluid 100 watercolor paper. This measures 3.5 by 3. Now, I will say that when it comes to doing watercoloring, um, your best bet, use watercolor paper. Don't try doing it on our basic white, thick, or regular cardstock because when water hits that paper, it's just going to pill it all up and it's just not going to work at all, okay? Then I have a scrap piece of basic white, and I have another scrap piece of basic white, and then I have a little strip. This is a 1/4 inch wide. This is old olive. This is a longer piece than what I actually need. And then I have a piece of berry burst. This is a 1/2 inch strip, and again, this is longer than what we need. So let me go and fold and burnish my card base and set this aside. And really what I should have done is I should have watercolored my piece first because that needs to dry. So let me bring in another piece of paper to put underneath this, because we know that some of this water is going to go through. So I have my cup of water here, and Stampin' Up! Does have water painters that we sell. It's a 3-pack and it comes in 3 different sizes. This one is the same size as this one. This is one of the water painters that I had purchased through Arteza. The only reason why I don't have the water painter ones that we sell is because I don't know if you heard me. I just don't know where I have them. I'm still in the process of trying to get this place organized, and it's just taken longer than what it really needs to be. So I just don't know where I put them. So I will find them. There's nothing wrong with them. I just can't find them. All right. So let me bring in my piece of my watercolor paper here. And I'm going to bring in a new color. This is Peach Pie. Now, what I'm going to do with this, now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take so when this is closed, you can push on this really hard and ink will then end up in your lid here. So you can work with the ink in this lid, or you can take the re-inker. You can put a couple of drops in here and work from that. Or the other thing you can do is you can take a block, an acrylic block, and move this out of the way, and you can ink up your block like so, and you can work off of this block. So let me set this aside. We'll put that right there. I'm going to take my water and I'm going to add some to my watercolor paper here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some water to my block. Now this color is a pretty intense color, so I want to kind of water this down some. And then I'm just going to brush my color on. Okay, so let me kind of clean this brush a bit. And let me set this aside. Actually, let me do this. Because I know what's going to happen when I have that block laying around. This is going to get all over the place and it's going to be a big mess and we don't want that. So I'll let that dry. And then let me close up my ink pad since I didn't do that before. Okay, so I am going to kind of set this aside for a moment. Now, I doubt that that's going to be fully dry by the time I'm ready to use it. So I do have my heat tool here that I will dry that a little bit more, but I'm going to let that sit and dry as much as it can that way, because when it's wet and you use the heat tool on it, what it'll do is it'll create like lines and designs and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a cool effect, but I want to kind of keep this a little bit solid like that. All right, so then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to bring in my liquid glue again. And I'm going to add some, especially along the edges, because again, when I emboss this, the embossing folder does warp the cardstock. And I do want this to lay flat. Okay. I'm going to center that like so. All right. So what's next? Okay. So let me bring in these pieces. Make sure that's stuck down. Actually, let me do this. We'll stick it down and we'll put some blocks on it. That way it'll keep it flat. Okay, so for these pieces here, I'm going to bring in these two images and I'm going to bring in my gray granite ink. I'm going to ink this up. And since it's a bigger image, I'm going to do it this way rather than taking the stamp to the ink pad. Now I'm going to stamp on this piece here, and the bottom part here, I want to kind of bring it down fairly close to the base. There is a die that cuts this out, but what it does, it only cuts the top part. It doesn't cut the bottom part. I'll show you that die. So there's kind of like your scenery type image. I'll put that aside. And then for this piece here, I'm going to ink up these trees. I'll stamp those. Okay. And let's close this up. Okay. Actually, I need this one. All right. So what's next? Let me clean these really quick. Okay. Now for these pieces, let me show you the dies that go with that. So the tree has, just kind of pull these out and try not dropping all of these because we don't want them all over the floor. So here's the die that's for this set of trees. Now, magic of TV, this saves some time. I have already done that. So there is our set of trees. And then for this piece here, let me show you the die that goes that. So this is a die here. It just die cuts the very top and it leaves the bottom. So this would just line up on here and it'll kind of cut across. And then I just trimmed on the bottom there. So here's the piece that I had already stamped and die cut ahead of time. So I just wanted to show you that die so you could see how that all works. Now, here's the part that I was mentioning where when I do my Friday night lives, it's to use current products. So then that way, if you like it and you want it, you'll be able, to order it. So in creating these cards, I actually cased a card that was with this bundle that was from when it first came out. Stampin' Up offers to their demos a recipe of all the projects that are in the catalog. And so some of the things that were used for making this card have actually retired. And it wasn't just a set of dies that I used, but so for example, this color here that was watercolor, they used pale papaya. That was another in color that had retired, but the peach pie, it's a little bit darker, so I just swapped out the colors. Um, the other thing that they had used the Give It a Whirl dies. Now these dies are pretty awesome dies. Let me get them out. These actually create um, an interactive type of card. So you can create a card that's got like a spinner on it. You got different shaped windows and all that. But also in here, there are hearts and there's stars. And there's also these little clouds right here that have stitching on them. So these were the dies that they used when they created this card. Now, what I have done, I have linked in the description, all the products that I used. There is a bundle that was in the mini catalog. And let me see if I can find this like really, really quick for you so I can just show you that this can be used in place of the Give It a Whirl dies. Now in here, there's a section that has all the carryover bundles. Okay, so let's see. Where is it? See, there's the Grassy Grove bundle right there. Okay, this one right here. The hot air balloons. The dies do have two small clouds that you can use in place. So like I said, the Give It a Whirl dies, they had retired with our last catalog. Those I have. This particular bundle, I don't have that one yet. So if you want little cloud dies, it is in this bundle, and this is the set of dies that I did include in the description. So with that, this is the two that I have die cut already in advance. And then I have my sponge dauber and my Misty Moonlight ink. And I'm going to put only just a little tiny bit. This ink pad's pretty inky. And I'm just going to add a little bit, and it's a little much. And I'm just going to add a little bit to the base of my clouds, just to add a little bit of shadow. It is a little bit darker than I want it to be, but it'll be okay. And then let's see this one. These were a great set of dies. I don't, you know what? I haven't even actually created a card using, the die to make that interactive card, but I have used the other dies, like the hearts and the stars and these clouds, quite a bit. I'm going to have to use that and do a Throwback Thursday on that one. Okay, so this piece is not quite dry. So let me bring in my heat tool. I heat up, and hopefully it's not extremely loud. And just quickly dry this. Now when you do watercoloring, if you go to dry it and you can see that this watercolor paper is starting to curl in, just flip it over. And when you heat it up, it'll flatten it out. Oh, what's going on with this thing? You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, why is my, okay, maybe I didn't have it on all the way. I thought I had it on high, but it kept on going back to low. I was hoping that nothing's going on with that thing because I actually had replaced, hopefully I didn't get this too hot under here. Okay, so this is dry enough now. So on this piece, I am going to add, let's see, no, I got my sample card sitting over there. So I'm going to add some steel on to the back of this. Now I'm going to add a little bit extra only because this is all warped and I want this to lay flat. Okay, where's my card base? Oh, under here. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of center it, like right about here. Okay, and then this piece here, I'm going to add some dimensionals to this piece. And I'm going to try to avoid putting any right up here because I do have those trees that I want to tuck in behind it. Okay, so got one more here. And it'll work out great because all of this edge piecing I can use on my next card. Oh, wait a minute. No, not on that one. But I can use those edge pieces. Nothing goes to waste. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to place this right about here. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my snips and I'm going to cut off these two tab pieces on here. Now I could have done that before I put it down, but it's a little too late now. But It's not a problem on cutting this. Okay. So then let me bring in my trees. Let me move this because we don't want water spilling. Okay, so let me bring in my trees. These are going to have dimensionals on them as well. And let's see, I got another sheet here of actual dimensionals. I'm going to use those edge pieces for, like when I have a big piece to put down. That's what those are good for. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 dimensionals on there. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to kind of tuck them, make this straight. And I'm going to kind of tuck these right back here like so. And then these clouds, I'm going to add some dimensionals on these as well. Oops, that's not the one I want. The little one. Okay. And then I'm going to take one of my little ones. Our white Stampin' Dimensionals do come in 2 different sizes. We have our mini ones and our regular sized ones. I'm going to take one of my mini ones and put it on that end. We'll remove these paper backings. And I'm going to add this one right about here. And then on this one, I'm going to add, we'll add one here. And a mini one right there. And I saw this card, I thought it just looked really, really cool. The color combination on them was, just really liked it and thought, okay, let's do that one. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one and I'll place this one right up here like so. Okay, so now the next step. So one of the other things I changed up a little bit on this strip here, the color that they used was Rich Razzleberry, and that color retired. So this is Berry Burst, and Berry Burst it's a little bit, I would say that it's close to Rich Razzleberry. It's just a little bit brighter and not as dark. So on this piece, I had brought out my embossing editions toolkit, and ahead of time, I went ahead and I stamped in Versamark and used my white embossing powder to emboss this congratulations. Now, this congratulations was not part of this stamp set, so I brought in another stamp set that had that greeting, and this is in the translucent florals cling stamp set. This is a stamp set. It coordinates with, there's a set of dies that coordinate with it. And these are, let me see. It's, I think. That's dangerous, right? To be thinking. The translucent florals, are they in here? Let's see, that's not, yeah, they're right here in the catalog. Some of our things that actually carried over in the catalog, and then some things had carried over in the online exclusives. While I mention online exclusives, I do want to make mention of something about that. So recently I have been out there and I've been looking, and there were a couple of things that I noticed that are now gone and they're not coming back. So there was a 3-pack of embossing folders. It was the Basics 3D embossing folders. One was a crosshatch, one had like these deep dots, and the other had kind of like a star floral type of design on it. And those had gone on back order a few times when they first came out, but they came back. Well, I noticed that they're not out there anymore, so they're gone. The other thing I noticed was, when it came to designing these things, I don't have like any current DSP that would mimic like a background type of thing. There is like two different 6x6 papers that one's in the catalog, one's in the online exclusive. I don't have either one of them. But one of the paper packs that goes with the Irresistible Blooms that I did a live with a few weeks ago, well, the stamp set, the set of dies, um, and the little like frosted dots that are part of that suite, they're there, but I did not see the paper, so it looks like the paper is gone too. Now I know that Stampin' Up had made mention that there was some kind of glitch because when I tried to add a pack of paper that was in the new catalog in my cart, it disappeared. And usually it disappears when it's gone on back order. However, I didn't see it in the back order, and I also didn't see it moved anywhere else. And so they had some kind of glitch where there was some products that actually disappeared out of the online store. So the online exclusives, I believe, is it every 2 months, 4 months? They will come out with new product, and the whole idea with the online exclusives is that we really never know how long they're going to last. I mean, when the stuff is in there, if it goes on back order, okay, they may, you'll know if it's coming back if it just says currently unavailable. If you don't see it in there anymore, then that means it's gone for good. So it's one of those things we just never know if they're going to bring it back or not. So the online exclusives, they do add product every few months to that. So in addition to our catalog, take a peek out there, and there's some things out there as well. Okay, so let me put this aside since I already did this. Now, another thing that I ended up that I am using that is also retired is this banner punch. Now you can simply do this with scissors as well. What we're going to do is we're going to flag the ends of these two pieces of cardstock. So for this one, I'm just going to put this in here, and I'm going to kind of line it up so I have about an equal distance from the top edge and the bottom edge of this punch to the cardstock. And I am going to flag that end, and then I'm going to do the same on this end too. So I'm coming in from the middle of the punch and kind of straighten that out like so. So that's what that looks like. Now you can do the same thing with a pair of scissors. Um, so this is kind of small. I'm going to use the punch on this, but I'll just show you. If you come on the end and you just snip in right in the middle, go up, and then from the very corner to where you snipped up, cut like that, and you can create that flag tail as well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to center this. Now this piece is much longer than what I need it to be. And I think I could do a better job on that flagged end. Didn't quite have that centered. Okay, and then I want to see where, because I only want a little bit of it to stick out. Let's see if I can do it this way while I'm holding that. Okay, that should be good. Put that aside. Okay, that's good. I just want a little bit sticking out from either side. So I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet and move this out of the way. I'm going to take some of my seal, add some to the back of this, and then bring in this old olive one. And I'm going to line this up. I'm probably blocking this. I'll line this up to where it's straight. Okay. All right. And then on the back of this, what I do? Did I pop it up? No, I didn't pop that up. I'm going to add some more adhesive on the top of this. And then I'm going to place that right there, like so. Okay, that seemed like it took a very long time, but there is our second card. I think it's just really cool. All right, let me put this aside, and then let's do the third card. This card is going to be pretty amazing. Now this one, there's actually no stamping on this one. We're just doing some die cutting and doing some watercoloring. And let me move these dies before they go flying. So for this card, let me pull my stuff out that I need for this one and make sure nothing is okay. So I have a piece of Petunia Pop. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. And then I have another piece of that Fluid 100 watercolor paper. This measures 5 by 3.5. And then out of basic black, this was a 5.25 by 4-inch piece. And I used this die to cut this out. Now, the way this die works, it does not cut like around this whole image. The whole idea of this is you lay it down on your cardstock and you run it through, and it will leave the whole border, and then just these little pieces are die cut out of that. So this is the die that I use. That's part of the Grove dies. And then out of another piece of basic black, I die cut these two stinking adorable deer. Put these up there. These two adorable deer. And here are the dies that I used to die cut those. Now in the set of dies, there's another deer die. And that one actually die cuts the stamped, the deer stamp in the stamp set. Words are hard. Okay. So let me kind of set this aside. And this is where I'm going to need a lot of that paper. So let me see, where did I put this? So let me kind of open this up. Now, this is just grid paper that I've used on other projects, and when it starts to get a bit dingy and everything else, I replace it. So kind of want to double up on this because this part can get a little bit messy, and I don't want any of the ink, getting on my surface here. Okay, so there's my piece of my watercolor paper. Let me move my card base and my deer. Okay, we're going to set that all aside. Now I'm going to bring in my water again. And then on this, let me bring in my blocks. So I have 3 blocks here. I'm going to use 3 different colors. So the colors I'm going to use are Pretty in Pink. That's a new in color. Petunia Pop, another new in color, and Night of Navy. So we're going to be creating kind of like a sunset background. Since I didn't have any DSP that kind of had a nice background, we have to create it ourselves. So what I'm going to do, just like I did with that peach pie, I'm going to take my block and I'm going to just pick up some ink off of the ink pad. So there's our Pretty in Pink. And then Petunia Pop. This one's really, really inky. Nice, pretty purple. Okay, put that right there. And then my Night of Navy. Now my Night of Navy is not quite as inky as those two. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so I'm going to start off with wetting down my cardstock. So I'm doing the whole piece. Of course, water is going to get everywhere. Okay, and then I'm going to add some water to my Pretty in Pink. And I'm going to add some on the bottom here. Trying to make this a little bit darker. Now these colors are going to be kind of overlapping, so I'm not worried about how high up I'm going with this particular color. And I'm also looking to try and get these colors to bleed into each other a little bit as well. Okay, and then I'll get some of my Petunia Pop. And I'm going to add some right here. Bring some down into that Pretty in Pink. You can kind of see this is the reason why that I decided to let this card be the final one that I do, because it is kind of messy. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my Night of Navy, and I'm going to add some of that to the top here. Petunia Pop and the Night of Navy together, it produces a really nice purple. Okay, so we'll kind of pull that up and see if we can get any of that kind of bleed down a little bit. Get a little bit more water. Some of these colors are kind of intense and they kind of like to stay on the brush. Bring in a little bit more petunia pop. Just want to get some of that color to run a little bit. Woo! A little bit much. Okay. I don't think I got too much of this pretty and pink left on this block, but let's see. I'm going to brush some of that on there. Okay, so there is our watercolored piece, and of course now I just bent it all up. That's okay. We'll flatten that all out with our adhesive and when we dry it. So let me do this part. Let me just set that aside and take these blocks and clean these off. You can see that this could be very, very messy. Very messy. Squeaky, squeaky. This is our chamois that we sell in our catalog. With this, it's always going to be stained. All you have to do is just rinse it with, I think if you rinse it with like hot water, it pulls out some of the reds and the pinks, and then cold water will pull out like your cooler colors, like your blues, your greens, and all that. Right, the navy was intense. Okay, so we're a little bit safe now that we got all that inky mess. I'm going to put aside, and I'm going to bring in like a paper towel. I'm just going to dab up some of this water. And then I'm going to bring in my heat tool again, and I'm going to go ahead and dry this so that way we can use it and get our card done. So this card really is pretty easy to do. It's just layering these pieces together. Flip it over. But you do want to make sure that you dry this completely before you glue it down. That should be good. I hope that wasn't too loud. Okay, so let me move all of this out of the way. See, we still got water where we didn't want it. So let me put these aside. Okay, so my card base, I'm going to fold and burnish this. Okay, And then for this piece here, I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. Now I'm going to add, now the way I want to put glue on this, I'm going to go around the edges here. Now I don't want to put any right up in here because I'm going to take those two deer and I'm going to kind of tuck them in right behind that. So I'm going to kind of go around the outer edge, and then I'm going to come in and add some like on these on the trees and up in some in these leaves and all, so that way this will lay flat on our watercolor piece. So let's see if I can do this without it wanting to dry up on me. I'm just going now. The watercolor piece is actually a little bit smaller than this, so to go all the way up to that very top edge, probably going to have glue exposed. So I'm just adding a little bit so that way this will lay flat. Some trees. It's in here. When I made this card last night, I had my fan going and it was drying my glue faster than before I could get the rest of it down. Add some down here. And again, I'm just kind of keeping this middle part kind of open because I want to tuck my deer behind that. Okay, so this should be good. Okay, and I should have really done that on top of my silicone craft sheet. So now for this piece, my Night of Navy is going to be up at the top. So I'm going to place this, and you can see some of it, the glue is along the outer edge. And I'm going to take this and make sure I got it kind of like covering. Ow, let me bring in my silicone craft sheet to do this part. I'm going to set this down here so that way the glue doesn't get on my grid paper. I'm just going to press that down. Okay, and then for my deer, I'm going to take these and I'm going to actually pull up a little bit on this, and I'll tuck their legs like right behind there. Just want to make sure I leave myself enough room here so I can fit them both. Okay, so I'm going to add some glue onto this deer here, the mama deer. And I'm going to kind of pull back on these a little bit so that way I can tuck legs under there. Open up. Okay, so that looks good. And I managed to get glue all over everything. Okay. And then let's get the little baby. And kind of pull back on this and kind of tuck this one right here. Whoops. Like so. Okay, and then let's get this out of the way. Now on here, I'm going to bring in my black dimensionals. These also are in our annual catalog. And I'm going to add, since this is a little bit warped, I'm going to add a few extra ones on here. Come down here. Not to the side. Okay, that should be good. And remove these backings. One thing I've noticed with our black dimensionals, they are a lot more stickier than the white ones. But these black ones are really great when you're using them on dark colored cardstock. Okay, and then bring in our card base, and we're going to center this on. Oh, there was a step that I forgot. I forgot a step, and I can't really do it on this now. Maybe I can. I don't know if I can get it. It's going to end up all over the black part. I have some of this Winter Stella on the brush, so if I take something and I kind of just wrap it on it, it'll add some spritzing to it. Now, originally, the original card I did, and I will show you that. What I should have done was I should have spritzed the watercolored piece before I glued it to this black piece. So this is what this one looks like. So you see the spritzing on the black and the background itself. And then the original card that I did the watercolor piece before I attached it to that. And you can see there's some of those, maybe you could see them. There's a little bit of sparkle on the background watercolor piece instead. So that is our 3 cards. So let me bring in the other 2, and you can see messy ink all over my hands. That's why I needed to do that one last. So there are those 2 cards, and then here is our first card. So maybe I have enough room here where I can put that in the middle. Okay, so again, if you would like the cardstock pieces for these card kits for free, it's a minimum $35 order in my online store. The link is in the description of this video. And place that order by midnight next Wednesday, May 22nd, and I will send you all of these pieces. So the pieces that I'm going to send you, I will die cut these clouds, and I'll emboss these pieces. But for this piece, like right here, you would need the stamp set and the dies to do that. Now on this one here, I will die cut this piece for you. I can die cut these pieces for you. I just can't do the stamping for you, okay? So with that, let me go over to my other computer. Let me see if there's any questions, any comments and all that before I steady hand, huh? Okay, so where's my mouse? Hold on. Oh, I'm with it. I'm with it. I promise. Okay, so let's see. Yvonne, Terry. Okay. Lucky Yvonne. I don't know. She may say something different come tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah. So I Yeah, tomorrow is my in-person class featuring the Spotlight on Nature bundle. And as far as June goes, I don't know exactly when I'm doing the class quite yet. Usually, by the time I go to do the newsletter at the beginning of the month, that's usually when I sit there and think, okay, which Saturday am I going to choose for our class? So, the only thing that's usually scheduled is the first Saturday of each month between February and December. No, February and November. I do the Christmas card club where you can create your Christmas cards throughout the year. But I will be honest with you. Um, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's been much interest in that. I guess people are just not thinking about doing anything Christmas probably until we hit probably fall or, you've heard of Christmas in July, where it's so dang hot out. Create Christmas cards and it makes you put you in a cooler mood, I guess. Um, so I really haven't had many people. Well, Yvonne, she's been here. She's been doing good on doing her Christmas cards. Me, I really haven't, even though I'm the one that's doing this. But I have so many cards I already got made, so I got a good stash that I can use for this Christmas. I have a lot of cards I need to figure out what to do with. So okay, that's good. The lighting is good. Okay. Um. The first card, a Christmas card, yep. That as a matter of fact, I in the catalog, they had a sample card where they did those trees and they did it in blue and it was much simpler than that card. And yeah, they did make it as a Christmas card. Yeah, blue is an awesome color. Like I said, purple's my number one and purple's my number one. Blue and aquas are my second. Um, yes, berry burst is a cool color. I'm glad that that was an in color that they brought back. Um, that punch, Terry. I don't know if you would find it in a store. I looked it up and it just says banner punch. It was actually they offered that as a free celebration item, like, oh my gosh, so many years ago. I think it was not long after I had joined, actually. So it's been a while. Um, let me put that punch in the view so that way you can see it. You may be able to find it. So let me just move this. And there's the punch. There's a little bit of a delay, so yeah, so it's not a very big banner punch. Um, yeah, that last card is pretty cool. I really like that one too. I love the way the background is. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a shameless little plug for a pretty amazing demonstrator that I've been following her now for a few years, and I was so thrilled to finally get to meet her in person when I went to our onstage event in Houston. What was it, back in March now? And she is amazing when it comes to watercoloring. She had offered two different classes, and I had signed up for those. I have like all the stuff because I opted for the swag box that had all the stuff in it. And she teaches like all these different techniques in watercoloring and how to mix colors without creating mud, how to do different brush strokes and all that. And actually, she's got a third one. It's called Watercolor Happy, and she's currently offering that right now. Now, there is a swag box that you can get that has a whole bunch of supplies and stuff in it. I don't know where it stands as to how many she has left. When did I do mine? I signed up for mine on Wednesday evening, and after I got done doing that and I looked, there were actually 29 boxes left. She also offers it where you can just watch it online. It is in a special website. It's called Teachable. So it's like a 6-week course on just everything that's watercoloring. So um, it's Dina Rico. She's the Creativity Cave. If you just kind of do a search for her blog, or if you would like, or if you're interested and you want any info on it, send me an email and I'll be more than happy to direct you in her direction. And again, she's got the third one coming out, but I believe you can still get um, the other two classes that she did, and they're pretty amazing. Um, Terry, that wallet is awesome. Thank you. It's a little bit getting used to that because it's thicker than the other one, but it's working out very well. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, and now I'm going to learn that I watch what I say around you. But thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but that was very sweet of you. Thank you. I do like it. Um, Wait, she switched the nights. She got it. She's still using it. Hmm. What do you mean, Yvonne? About she switched the night, she got it, she's still using it. What do you mean by that? I know that the wallet? Oh, okay. I switched out from the one that I had that was falling apart. Okay, okay. I get it. I understand. Okay, I get it. Yes, I did when she showed up, Terry, when she showed up that evening. Yeah, she goes, "Oh yeah, this is from Terry," and I just looked at her and I'm like, "She didn't," and she's like, "I don't know," but yeah, I gotta watch what I say around you, girlfriend. Okay, so I think that's it. So, like I mentioned at the very beginning, so on here watching and commenting, I got Yvonne and I got Terry. Anybody else, if you're on here watching, leave a comment. Say hi, let me know where you're visiting from. Let me know which is your favorite card. And if you are watching this after the fact, um, I what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway. Um, I'm going to see, if I get a whole lot of people commenting on it, I'll probably do like a random drawing, like for three, like maybe for three or whatever. But if there's not that many, I will just, take care of everyone that's left a comment. So again, Terry and Yvonne, you've been commenting away, so that's awesome. Thank you. So after the video is over, up until I would say this coming Sunday, May, what is it, May 19th at midnight, if you leave a comment under this video or even share the video, what it does is it really helps in my YouTube channel. I don't know how the whole algorithm thing works, but when YouTube sees that, there's a lot of interaction on your videos, with comments and likes and shares, and of course, by me also consistently putting content out there, what it does, it takes my video and it'll put it in feeds, for people who are like, for example, if you have someone that is really interested in, card making and crafts and all that, videos like this will show up in their feed. And when it does, then okay, when they watch it, then there's more interaction that's happening on the videos. So when it's out there, more people see it, more people know that this is what I'm doing, and that's what grows, the subscriber count and all that. So, um, I miss you too, Terry. It was awesome when you were here. I mean, yeah, we knew that we were going to get along just fine. So, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know what'll happen this year, but I guess I know that I'll see you next year. But, maybe we can figure something out, where we can do like, I don't know, like a Zoom type thing or whatever, where we can all craft together, even though well, we're not all sitting in the same place. So we can figure something out. Technology, there's so much that you can do with it. So, okay. So with that, thank you, Terry. Thank you, Yvonne, for being here with me tonight. Thank you for all of you that are watching this on the replay. Again, leave a comment or share the video. Let me know that you shared it. And what I will do is, by Sunday at midnight, I will do a little something for everyone, because at this point it does. Well, let me just say this: it all depends on how many comments I get on this. Because if I get like a good amount, like 50 or 100, that could be a little crazy. But if you're on here watching the replay and all that, this is my 100th video between pre-recorded and live videos, and I wanted to do something a little bit special with this video. So I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway with one of the new embellishments in our catalog. So with that, again, if you need a catalog, if you want any more information on the joining special that's going on and being part of my Blue City Stampers family, my email is in the description of this. Just send me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So as of right now, I think for next week, I should be getting my paper pumpkin kit. So that one I believe is geared more around Father's Day. So I'll be doing the projects in that kit at some point next week. Next Thursday, I haven't really decided what I'm doing yet. And then of course Friday. Oh, Neither so let put in the comments, um, which of those 2 bundles. There was the one that had all that brightly colorful watercolor type paper. There was that whole suite, and then there was the other one that had um, the stamp set with the dies and those, what are those, decorative masks, for doing the ink blending with the blending brushes. So let me know in the comments which one you would like me to use next Friday. Actually, if you're watching on the replay, I did show those 2 different bundles in the catalog earlier in the video. So let me know which one you like. Now I'm going to do both of them on a Friday. Just let me know which one I should do first. Um, so thank you again, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for those that are watching on the replay. And until next time, be blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.